Today we are going to go get fitted for some running shoes. So we're gonna head to Fleet Feet, and located here in Cary, North Carolina. And I'm gonna walk you guys through the process of getting these running shoes, and show you that it's not just about how the running shoe looks. That is a thing, but it's more about the performance of the running shoe and how the running shoe actually runs, how it feels, right? Just because a running shoe looks really good does not mean that it is going to perform the way that you need it to perform. I've had a bunch of shoes, and that's something I used to think, is that if this shoe looks really, really good, right, that I'm going to perform really well in it. That's not the case. I had shoes that looked really, really good. I think they're like the Asics Boston limited edition ones. And I think like a week later, I started to get like some pain in my ankle and some pain in my knee from wearing those shoes. From wearing those shoes, because the only thing that changed in my running was the shoes, right? So it's not just about how the shoe looks; it's about how the shoe performs. All right, so let's stay tuned and let's go.
Process today is I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions to kind of figure out how you're going to be using the shoe. What kind of activity? How often are you using it? Just to kind of get an idea of the type of training that you're doing. That will give us an indicator on how much weight or cushion we're going to need, how much support we're going to need to give you that edge. Whether you're trying to go for speed or you're trying to go for comfort, or if you're trying to alleviate some pain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that'll give me some information on that. Once we get done with that, I'll give you the iPad. It's going to ask you a couple questions. It's going to send you a copy of the scan. It's going to save the scan. Then I'm going to take you over to the Fit ID.
Okay.
That it's going to give me some information based on the size and shape of your foot. So things like the length, the width, which is important, and even how tall your foot is.
Okay.
So it's going to give me some information on that. We're also going to do the pressure plate, and that'll give me an image from the bottom and will show me where you put most of the pressure. That also gives me an indicator of how much support and cushion we're going to need.
Right.
So we'll come back, we'll talk about those things. I'll show you the scan. We'll go over the tiles and figure out what we're looking for. I'm going to bring shoes out based on your foot shape and size. Mm-hmm. I'm going to bring you a couple of pairs out, 2-3 pairs out. And your job is to pick what's more comfortable.
Right.
Comfort is king.
Yes,
so we're going to go for comfort. And regardless of what you pick, it's going to be what you need. But we need to pick the best out of those based on comfort level. Okay?
Yeah.
If for whatever reason at the end of all that you want a different color, I can definitely go back, pick different colors. We can go on our online store.
So really customized.
Yep, we can customize the color. We can send it straight to your house.
Nice.
Yeah, so,
nice.
So yeah, let's get a little bit of information from you.
Nice. So, you guys heard it? Let's get it.
In the 3D image, now he's taking it over to the pressure plate.
That's cool.
We'll wait for them to get out the way and we'll head over.
Okay. Cool. So does this feel kind of weird, like me recording you?
Nah, man.
Oh, okay.
I don't care, man. I'm pretty confident in my job, so.
I like it. You want to tell the audience anything about you that you want to anything you want to share?
About myself?
Yeah. Anything, you don't have to.
There's nothing spectacular other than I like running. I mean, I was in the Army for 20 years. I was a medic in the Army.
Oh, nice. So you've probably seen a lot of stuff.
And so I wanted to I should have been in the business of healthcare, but I went for a job where I could still help out people and have fun.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like how I ended up at the Fleet Feet. I actually work at Fort Mill in Charlotte.
Oh, wow.
But I came for the weekend to help out.
Oh, just for this weekend? Oh,
Yeah,
so this is like serendipity that we
So
met.
I used to work here for a while, and then I went over there, took over the 2 stores at Charlotte and at Fort Mill, and then heard they needed some help, so I came over to help out and just be part of the team.
Wow. That's
Let's
very
head over
good.
there real quick.
Yeah, let's head over there. All right.
So if you take off your shoes.
Okay.
And while you do that, I'm going to
Sanitize it down, whatnot, do all. Yeah, I used to have like this favorite pair of running shoes, and I think I lost them. No, that's what I did. I ran a Spartan race in them, and after I ran that Spartan race in the shoes, they were they were done.
Which one were they?
Done. They were Asics.
Got it.
Some shoes, one of my favorite ones, and I just destroyed them.
Whenever you're ready, go ahead and step on the scanner facing the
Okay,
wall.
so press up on the scanner. Ooh.
Oh, you said you're going to come back like 5:30.
Try to keep your feet in sock. Bring it in a little bit. Try not to move. Half inside and half outside, it won't count. It won't pick it up. So,
Okay.
So just try to keep a full step in the walk as normal as you would.
Okay.
Regular length, and we'll get 3 readings.
So right afterwards, gonna walk on this pad, just step within the pad.
Correct. You step within the
And
pad,
then-
try to stay in the center.
Okay. All right,
And
cool.
just move your arms and everything as you normally would.
All right, cool. All right.
We're ready when you are, man.
All right.
Perfect. One more time. One more this way. One more this way. All right. We're good to go.
All
Let's go
right.
have a seat.
Nice.
Go over your scanner out there.
All right.
You can grab your shoe.
Hey, yeah. All right.
Don't worry about that. That's not your calves. That's just gonna be your pants. The first thing I do is look at the Achilles. I look at the back to make sure that they're straight. The main thing that comes out to me as soon as I see it is how thin this one is compared to this one. So a lot of times that could be an indicator of an injury, maybe a little bit of swelling, maybe a little bit of overworking if you've been running a lot on one side versus the other. So are you in any pain right now? No pain, gotcha.
No, I mean, a little bit soreness. I do jump rope barefoot.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so it'll be the first thing I look at. The next thing I look at is to see what the arches look like. And in your case, they look about mid to low. I start looking to see what the ankles are doing, if they're shifting in or not. And then from the top, I can also see that. In your particular case, I do notice that the leg of the ankle bone does come in a lot more on the left than the right. It does whiten up as it goes forward, which is pretty normal, nothing out of the ordinary on that. So the main thing I'm seeing here is how much this one comes in. Notice out here, I can't see the edge, but here I can see the edge of your foot. So it just indicates that it comes in a lot more. And even from this angle, you see that right there?
Yeah.
That right there is showing how your arch is pushing out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably. I had some knee pain a little while ago because, like I said, I bought some these shoes and they looked great, but they didn't perform it at all. I took them out for I was like, well, let me try them out for like 2 to 3 weeks. And after I tried them out, like my knee.
Which ones were there?
They were like some Asics Boston edition, gel, like Nimbus.
The Nimbus?
Something. Yeah, I
Gotcha.
think so. I'm not really sure. I have to look it up.
Okay.
But yeah, they did not perform right at all. So I have to get rid of those and go back to my regular ones. And since then, I haven't had as much pain, but still.
And how much running are you doing right now?
Right now, I haven't been doing as much. I maybe do like a mile to 2 miles.
Okay.
A day.
Gotcha.
Before I was doing like 3 to 6.
Okay, gotcha. When you're out running and training, are you using these miles to kind of like a warm up before you go to the gym, or is it more like speed work?
Yeah. So I do some speed work, some lit, different stuff like that. So
Gotcha,
a
okay.
majority of my runs are gonna be geared toward like the lower intensities, and then as I'm once or twice a week, I do like some sort of speed work.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. So That's good to know because now I know when I go back there, I'm going to try to find lighter shoes
Yeah.
that are going to, something that's not made for like a long distance, right? Something light, something that is still nice and cushioned to give you some comfort. But typically, when you get to the lighter side, the cushion and the stability starts to diminish.
Yeah,
Because you're looking for something that you're not going to be on your feet for a long time. So therefore, we're looking for less. It's kind of like a car, like a race car. They take all the seats out, they take everything out to make it lighter, right? So we're looking for something like that.
I mean, ideally, I would like a shoe that's going to be like my 4 to 6 miler. Because that's like, I'm not going to do, right now, I'm not going to do more than 6. But I would like to do a marathon this year.
Oh, man, that'd be awesome.
So I want to kind of gear up to that
Gear to
eventually,
that, yeah,
right around like
that's a lot of
November,
miles,
December.
man.
Yeah.
Is there a specific marathon you're looking at?
I really want to do the Boston or the New York Marathon.
Got it.
Right,
That'd be awesome, brother. If you're looking towards the end of the year locally,
Yeah.
you know, obviously those are really awesome big runs. But locally, a good one, especially for a beginner. Have you never done one before? Have you done?
Never done a marathon before, but
Kiowa Island.
Kiowa Island.
Yeah, Kiowa has a really good marathon in the first week of December. And the weather is like perfect. It's kind of chilly when you start, but as you warm up, your body temperature feels. You're not going to overheat. You're not going to get really cold.
Yeah.
But it's always a perfect weather for that marathon.
Nice.
Yeah.
I said it was called Kiowa.
Kiowa Island, yeah.
Kiowa Island.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's local to North Carolina, right?
I think I don't know if Kiowa's on the Georgia side. I think it's Georgia. Maybe South Carolina. No, I think it's Georgia.
Okay, so I mean that's still pretty local though. It's like 6 hours.
Yeah, it's not
It's
so
not
bad,
bad.
but it's a really good. In fact, our training group in Charlotte and in Fort Mill, we're going to train for that marathon.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's get some information for it.
Yep.
Nice.
Let's take a look at some data here. And this is going to give us the objective
The-
and the measurements and everything, right? So your feet are coming in at a 14.3.
Okay.
Now we discussed earlier, there's a pretty interesting fact here too. We discussed earlier that you might have been in a shorter shoe than you should. And the reason why you probably do that is because your feet are not narrow, but they're on the narrow side of things. So sometimes people that have a more narrow, more slim foot tend to go for a shorter shoe to make up for the width, but to feel more secure in the shoe. And vice versa, someone with a wider foot tends to sometimes go for a longer shoe than they need to be able to make up for that width.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're going to try not to sacrifice the length of the shoe so that because of the width. So we're going to try to narrow down that width as much as we can to get you in the right sizing. A lot of times if you get a shoe that's too long or too short, a lot of the support and a lot of the cushion may fall in the wrong spot. So we just kind of have to dial that in a little bit and figure out, and also obviously comfort level that needs to be part of this whole thing.
Right.
Looking at the arches. So here, and when you get this in your email, when you click on a box, it will show you what it's measuring. So in this case, it's measuring the width. When it talks about the width, it talks about from here to here, your toe box. It talks about the toe box from there to there. The next thing, and I think we talked about this a little bit earlier, this one right here is measuring your arches. How tall are your arches? So the arch height.
Right.
And so they're both
Pretty low.
pretty low.
I know I have like really low arches. I'm trying to rebuild it back up. but
Gotcha. Okay.
It's hard.
Yeah, so pretty low arches there. And the end step tells us how tall your foot is. So from the ground down up to this bone right here. Yeah. So it tells us how tall the foot is. Some people have a really tall foot, some don't. So with your foot characteristics, brands like you have a more slim foot, so things like Asics, Mizuno, On Cloud, those are typically more narrow cut.
Right,
And they'll
right.
probably fit a little bit better.
Right.
So I'll probably start with those and then work our way out of that until we find that comfort, till we narrow down that comfort level.
Yeah.
And then the heel width is going to be wide. So the back is a little bit wider. Remember I mentioned earlier there might be a little bit of swelling or something going on, and so it's showing that it's a wide. It could be because of that. Maybe like you mentioned, the jump rope might have affected it a little bit, which is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me.
I think the left side, I'm not surprised at that because I have been having some pain in like that left
Okay,
knee,
gotcha.
right? And there's So I'm not very surprised with that the left side is
Gotcha.
is acting up, you know. So
Got it. Okay, perfect. All right, let me go back there and grab you some shoes, and I'll be right back.
all right, cool. All right.
Um,
All right, guys. So while we're waiting for those shoes, this is really a really fun experience. It's really easy. It's very friendly. It's very like not pushy at all. Not like it feels like he's trying to actually help me out, you know. So definitely would recommend go check out your nearest Fleet Feet. Definitely good. We're gonna wait and see till he gets back with some shoes for me to try out. But as you can see, I do have like those low arches, which I already knew. And that's probably that pain in that left leg may be attributed to my knee being a little bit out of alignment. So besides just getting the new shoes, I have to go and see a chiropractor to adjust maybe my hips as well as probably my hips, right? And then see a physical therapist to help adjust with my knee, right? But that's all. I'll digress from that. That's going to be another video. But yeah, let's wait and see when he gets back. Now, things that you should do before you train. So what are some things you should do on race day?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, never do anything new on race day. Nothing should be new. Everything should be already tested and make sure it works. So from your outfit, from your shoes to your shirt to everything you wear on race day, it should be something that you've already worn before, that you've tested before several times, and you know it fits right, it feels good, and it's going to perform. That's just what you're wearing, but also nutrition. You know, people they like the goo packets, they like the chews, they like different hydration. You want to manage your fuel and your hydration separate. There are a few items where you can mix both.
Okay, y'all. So we just got our Fleet Feet shoes. This whole experience was very informative and really fun. I met a new guy, and he could be a potential lifelong mentor or a lifelong friend. Just because it didn't feel pushy. It didn't feel like, oh, your feet are flat, like what's wrong with you? None of that, you know. It was just like, hey, you know, this is what's gonna work for you. If you want it, then awesome. If you don't, that's fine too. Either way, I'm giving you knowledge that you could use for your long-term goals. So I would highly suggest that you guys check out Fleet Feet. It has been a great experience. And that's why I got these shoes, right? Because it was a great experience. I learned a bunch that I didn't know. I learned a lot of different, how to, you know, tie different shoes, as well as different pain that I was feeling in my feet and why I'm feeling that exact pain. Right, so I would definitely suggest for you guys to go to your nearest Fleet Feet, check them out. Just say, hey, you know what? I want to go and get my feet tested, right? And it's been a really great process. All right, so go. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching this video. If you guys have any questions, then please follow down below, and also comment your questions down below. Either one, I hope that you guys got some good information from this, because that's the whole point of my channel. All right. Until next time, y'all. Peace out, A-Town gang, and I will see you on the next video.